तस्मै तमहदेवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशम् मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। वेदान्तार्थविभासकाय गुरवे शान्ताय सन्न्यासिने नानावादीनगेन्द्रसङ्घपवये योगीन्द्रवन्द्याय च मोहध्वान्तदिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधां बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततं पूर्णाय बोधात्मने। Just the Mangalacharan of this particular book together. Sarvatantra svatantraya sadatmadvaitavedine Shrimate Shankararya Vedanta Gurave Namaha. Yovatirna ihacharya Rupena Yatinam Mude Shrimannarayanam Vande Tam Harim Karunanidhim Mananakyam Prakaranam Vasudevayatishvaraihi Rachitam Vistarena Sangrahena Prakashyate Balanam Upakaraya Mama Vijnana Siddhaye Tatra Shri Balagopala Krishna Sannihito Bhavedu. Okay. So we have understood that even with the Avarana Shakti, there are these two aspects of Avaranam, Asattva Avaranam and Abhana Avaranam. What is it that has caused you to see these as two? So because there is a very distinct vyavahar, transaction, or there is a very distinct way, Anuj, two distinct ways of behaving. What is that? Vastu nasti. When a person says the object doesn't exist, it doesn't exist, it does not mean that the object is not existent. It becomes as if non-existent because the person does not know. Okay? When a person says it does not exist, it is not like the horn of a rabbit. Shashashringavat. It is not like that. For him, it becomes non existent because he does not know. Okay? So, that which makes the person behave, respond, transact in this way, or even think in this way, is because there is asattva varanam. The second one is abhana varanam. Abhana varanam makes the person say that it may be there, but I cannot experience it. And this is the reason why. Why is this? Why is there this kind of a thing? What is the reason for this? Is because there is abhana avaranam. Okay. So now we have seen these two aspects of concealment, asattva and abhana. Okay. Furthermore, dvividham api avaranam tattvajnanena vinashyam. Both the types of avaranas, concealments, both the aspects are eradicated by the knowledge of reality. Okay. Avaranam tattvajnanena vinashyam. Tattvajnanam cha. And how is this knowledge of that reality? Paroksha jnana. This knowledge also has now two aspects. What is that? Paroksha jnanam, aparoksha jnanam cha iti dvividham. Paroksha means indirect, and aparoksha, the word aparoksha means direct. So indirect knowledge and direct knowledge. It is through both these both the avaranas are eradicated. Dvividham. Tatra gurumukhad vedanta janyam jnanam paroksha jnanam. Over here, the knowledge which takes place by listening to the words of Vedanta from the teacher. So there is an understanding. So of course the teacher also has to speak in a language in which some cognition is generated. Okay. So though this is all, the words are Sanskrit, we have to keep on repeating it till the word gets, you associate the meaning of the word. Okay. So tattvajnanam cha gurumukhad vedanta janyam jnanam paroksha jnanam. Over here, gurumukha janyam jnanam is paroksha jnanam is not said. Gurumukha Vedanta Janyam Jnanam. Every word over here one has to pay attention. Otherwise, the Guru is bringing out his things. I have got this in my experience. Every day he comes in my meditation. Now this was the experience. Other people are waiting to hear, what is today's new cinema? New story has to come, right? So this fellow is sitting up. I came across this. So this teacher goes in meditation every day, comes out and comes out doing what? Some design of jewelry. I have seen this in meditation. We have also seen this in the catalog book. What is this? Guru Mukhad, spoken by the teacher, but what did he speak? Vedanta. Okay. So now the Pramanyam is the property of being the means of knowledge, is there in the words. Which words are these? Words of the Veda. But can Veda speak? Can that Veda speak? Veda words themselves. Can it? So it is spoken, because if there are words, if it is just sound, maybe trees and birds can do that. Even when the fan goes on, it will create a hum. It is also sound. But these are just not sounds, these are sounds with specific sequence. And that sequence also has a meaning. It should become words with meaning. Those words have to sit together to become a sentence, and the sentence also should generate a valid meaning. Otherwise there can be something like, he soaked the earth with fire. Soaking with fire. You can say scorched the earth with fire. Soaked. Sentence. A faulty sentence. Okay. Soak the earth with fire. Scorch the earth with fire. That's okay. So, I don't know, he's shaking the head like that. Maybe I spoke something wrong. Guru Mukhad Vedant. So this is a sentence, and that sentence has a quality of being a pramana, capable of generating knowledge, which means something which was unknown before. And not only that what was unknown becomes known, but that what is made known is also not falsified. It is not falsified, and therefore unless and until it has got both these aspects, that it is unknown before and it cannot be abadhitam. Anadhigata and abadhitatvam. Both of these have to be there. It is Vedanta Vakyam. So now a teacher is required to speak. Therefore, what are we saying? Guru Mukhad Vedanta Janyam Jnanam is Paroksha Jnanam, the indirect knowledge. There is a lot over here to explain, but I think I'm going to just be a little kind and not go into all the details. And because the book in itself will prepare you to know. So certain things I have to trust with the author, that he will bring it to you. What is called as indirect knowledge over here at present? Knowledge which is generated by listening to the words of Vedanta spoken by the teacher. Guru Mukhad Vedanta Janyam Jnanam, Paroksha Jnanam. Okay? Further. Idameva Shravanam. This is called as listening. Listening is not, oh, I was listening to the teacher with all my heart. Please don't romanticize it so much. You have to listen to the teacher with all, as if you are only the ears. You exist only as ears. Drink the nectar of his words. No. There is no need to do all these things. Just understand clearly what is being spoken. That's it. No. The teacher is speaking and how can we not? I सारे प्राण ऐसे आँखों में आके and there is a scope for all madness. How various kind of craziness can take place. Then this teacher just walks in and several people just go in frenzy. They start shaking and all that. Somebody starts crying, sobbing. They roll on the ground. Why? Does she have some stomachache or what? Why is she rolling like this? No, she has just seen the teacher. Bapre. You see the teacher. Of course you have come to see the teacher. Not just see the teacher, you have come over there to listen. Clear your doubt. Why are you rolling for that? Sit properly. No, Swamiji, this is all devotion, it is required. Hey, Swamiji, you don't know. Okay, Baba, I don't know this new method. We never have to do all that. When we saw teacher rolling on the ground, crying, just listen to it. And listening is for what? When you listen, so that there is conclusive understanding, such process of listening in which a conclusive understanding is gathered, this is called as Shravanam. Okay? Shravanam nama tatparya nishchayam. Okay? Otherwise they have all these romantic ideas about teacher, Guru. It's okay. Idameva Shravanam. Now when you listen and then there is a conclusive understanding. It is understanding, it is not imagination, it is understanding. Then what happens? Vastu nasti. That it is not there. Vastu nasti. Ityevam rupam asatva avaranam nashyati. The asatva avaranam is where the person says it is not there. Hey, do you know you are Brahman? What Brahman? I don't know what is that. I'm Indian. Brahman. He thought that Brahman is some different citizenship. No. Does not know. I don't know. This asatva avaranam goes away. Okay? Through Shravanam. Vastu nasti. Iti rupam asatva avaranam nashyati. Tada vastu asti iti vyavahariyate. Then after, what does he say? It is there. It is there. Hey, do you know Mariana? You know Mariana?
Some Mariana I definitely know, but maybe it's not the same
Mariana Trench.
No, that's one.
Mariana Trench. The deepest part of the Pacific Ocean is Mariana Trench. Have you seen it? But do you know it is there? Now, Mariana Trench exists or not? Exists. Before that, if the teacher was not to tell you that Mariana Trench is not the name of a girl, it is the deepest part of the ocean. Who Mariana Trench? None. Not my best friend's girlfriend. Who is Mariana Trench? Now you no longer have asatva avaranam. It exists. Now, after though you have not seen it, experienced it, you have not gone and touched the bottom part of Mariana Trench, yet you know it exists. You have not dived into that ocean to see the depth. It exists. How? Paroksha. Now it exists. This vyavahara takes place. You are able to say it does exist. Okay? It does exist. So, is Atma Brahma? I don't know what you're talking. What is Atma? What is Brahma? But after Shravanam, after the Shravanam, we have yet not done Shravanam, etc. What we have is just a flying Pallavagrahi, Chanchu Pravesh. Okay? Have you ever seen sparrows take bath? How? When a sparrow takes bath, they don't go and swim neck deep. Nice. They put their beak inside and get little water and clean the feathers. So, really speaking, though it takes bath only, but only the portion of the beak gets wet. That is called Chanchu, means the beak. How much has the sparrow entered into the water? Chanchu Pravesh. Only that much. Till the tip of the beak gets wet. Listen to Vedanta. Now what is that? Hey, this is Chanchu Pravesha. And therefore, now here and there we have heard Atma is Brahma, Atma is Brahma, Atma is Brahma. But is that a conclusive knowledge? Is that anything conclusive? We see several ads on the road when we sit in a bus and go somewhere. Okay. One day I was traveling with a friend of mine, and then these big advertisements on the road. We were traveling somewhere outside Pune or something, and few hoardings I just read little loudly. So this fellow sitting next to me asked, "Swamiji, are you going for this adult literacy classes now?" Someone who has just learned reading. Practicing how to read. You see several things like that. Is there a conclusive knowledge about it? Definiteness about it? No. We are not talking about are you convinced about it or not. is there a conclusiveness to that knowledge? Okay? We are not talking about conviction. We are talking about understanding. And how is this understanding? Conclusive understanding born out of pramana. Not born out of your insistence or your some special intuition, etc. No. Not born out of some I'm getting intuition. It's okay, please keep your intuition for some time with you. Let whatever that knowledge has to be, let it come through pramana. That is more important. Otherwise, this intuition business is, I am getting an intuition. You will get a new job. When? That intuition is not coming. You will. Now this fellow is already trying. He cannot sit unemployed all his life. Someday he's bound to get. I told you, right? After 2 years he gets a job. I told you, right? Intuition. Please. This is kind of, keep that intuition. What we need is understanding born of pramana through the means of knowledge. No mystifying mystical business. Alright, then idameva shravanam anena vastu nasti iti evam rupam asattva-varanam nashyati tada vastu asti iti vyavariyate. Now, after having done the shravanam, listening to the Vedanta Upanishad for its conclusive understanding, then after, what is born is called as Paroksha Jnanam. It is what? Paroksha Jnanam. And Paroksha Jnanam, this indirect knowledge, removes the Asattva Avaranam. Which Avaranam goes away with this? Asattva Avaranam. So now, few things that you have understood. What is Asattva Avaranam? Okay. Then what is Paroksha Jnanam? Definition of Paroksha Jnanam. These two things you have seen. Further. Shravanena samshayam mananena asambhavanam nididhyasanena viparita bhavanam cha nivartya dehatma jnanavat brahmatma jnanam jayamanam paroksha jnanam aparoksha jnanam anena vastu na bhati iti vyavahara hetuhu abhanavaranam nashyati. Okay. Now you see, certain things are known through sensory perception. Okay. For example, the Eiffel Tower in Paris. How do you know Eiffel Tower? Baba, because it can be seen. Do you have to believe this is Eiffel Tower? No. When you say this, it means that you as well as that object are in the same period. The time frame is the same, this, and it is close enough. Otherwise, if it was to be said as something which was distant in time, it would be, and distant in space, it would be said as that. that was the king 2000 years ago. That was his capital. And that gone very far. This, it means it is something is immediate. It is here, immediate. And so that word this is used to show something that is immediate. There is that so now this is Eiffel Tower. And it is known through the sensory perception. You see, you can smell, if you go and lick, you will know the taste also. Now, that Eiffel Tower is known. And it is given as an object of sensory perception. Okay? Are you able to see the Eiffel Tower from here? Why? So, though it is something that is there, and it is also there for you to know through sensory perception, yet your sensory perception is not showing you that Eiffel Tower. Why? Because there is an obstruction of time and space. Okay? Now the time and space has become an obstruction. And so you can't see. So, wherever there is going to be any obstruction in the knowledge, what becomes an obstruction is a different case. But wherever there is any form of obstruction in the knowledge, that knowledge becomes indirect. Vyavadhana sahitam jnanam paroksha. This Atma is Brahma. Which Atma? This Atma, that what I am is Brahman. The meaning of word I. And yet it has become indirect. Why is it indirect when this Atma itself is direct? There cannot be anything more directly known like the self. I am. You don't require eyes to know I am. You don't even require the thought I am to know I am. So you don't require eyes, mind, thought, intelligence, even the ego. Nothing is required for your own presence. Why? Because this is most direct. There cannot be anything more direct than and self-evident than the presence of your own being. Okay? In spite of this, how is this Atma now? Oh, I trust the words of my teacher of Vedanta. Atma is Brahman, it is not directly known. So that means in that knowledge there is some obstruction. And that obstruction is in form of samshaya viparyaya, is in form of doubts and contradictions, of impossibility. So now the doubts are resolved through Shravanam. The logical impossibility is removed through Mannanam. And the contradiction is removed through Nididhyasanam. Now that Nididhyasanam is form of meditation. Now this is the role of meditation. What is it that the meditation should do over here? Oh, meditation should make us relax. Oh, Baba, that is done. Now what tension do you have? how that meditation is employed to remove viparita bhavana or the contradiction, viparyaya. So nivartya, now that knowledge is crystal clear. How clear and how certain is this knowledge? Dehatma jnanavat. Presently, the ignorant person has no doubt, I am the body. I am the body. He is very, very sure about it. So now you see, surety is there even through ignorance. Okay? He is totally convinced, confident, I am the body. He lives like that, I am the body. I look beautiful, I am growing old, I am like this, I am like that. Are you talking about this? So now there is certainty, confidence, which comes even through ignorance. And just because somebody speaks very confidently, it does not mean that he is right. Because ignorance also can give rise to confidence. Also, he must be right because he is so confident. Ignorance. So also now we are going to say, through knowledge also, because of that certainty, there is going to be the same amount of confidence. Okay? Confidence is going to be. So that knowledge is as certain as that ignorance. And how is it? Dehatma jnanavat. Like the person claiming himself to be the body, the knowledge is as clear as that I am Brahman. This is what is the Aham Brahma iti. Okay? Evam iti vastu na bhati iti vyavahara hetuhu abhanavaranam nashyati. Thus, I am not experiencing I am Brahman. That kind of a claim is now eradicated through the direct knowledge. What do you mean by direct knowledge? Knowledge is same. But when the samshaya means doubts, impossibility, and the contradiction is removed from the knowledge, with what is removed? Through Shravanam. Through Samshaya, what is removed? Through Shravanam, Samshaya is removed. Through Mannanam, Asambhavana. Samshaya Bhavana is removed through Shravanam. Asambhavana is removed through Mannanam. And Viparita Bhavana is removed through Nididhyasanam. Okay? Now we are not going to use the word Dhyanam, Samadhi, Nididhyasanam. There is a different word. But in English we will all have to say meditation, because there is no word to it.
Use contemplation.
Use whatever you want, but we will mean Nididhyasan. Be sure. Okay? Now, now thus the Abhana Avaranam is removed. So, the Avarana Shakti has these two aspects, Asattva and Abhana. Through the indirect knowledge, a sattva avaranam is removed, and through the direct knowledge, what is removed? Abhana avaranam. What is the word for indirect knowledge, Jim? Paroksha jnanam. Jnanam means knowledge. Paroksha means indirect. Okay? Paroksha. And aparoksha means direct. Okay? Aparoksha means that which is not indirect. If we are to translate the word aparoksha, how will it become? That which is not indirect. So what is not indirect? That what is direct. And why this word also is made like this? It's very interesting. Because what you have first is indirect knowledge. And then the indirect knowledge, when gets distilled, when all the impurity of the samshaya bhavana, asambhavana, viparita bhavana is removed, it becomes direct. Now it becomes direct. So in this case, this direct knowledge is a later stage. Okay? But to make the word indirect, you require the direct word first and then indirect. But in reality over here, what comes first? Indirect. And therefore that what is not indirect is direct. Hey, you see? Hey, it follows that. So now, tada anartha nivritti, thus in going away of the ignorance, in eradication of the ignorance, anartha nivritti. What goes away? Anartha, the cause of misery, goes away. Nivritti. Ananda avaptischa. Okay, that cause of misery has gone. But have we gone? We want even sukham. Have you got that? Ananda avapti. Now the self itself is pure happiness. Not limited by any condition, and therefore ananda avapti. There is attainment of happiness also. What kind of happiness is this? Oh, it is spiritual happiness. Hey, not spiritual. Happiness is happiness. Oh, we thought this is spiritual happiness and other happinesses are also there. Happiness is happiness. That's it. Okay? And how is this? Infinite. And therefore gains ananda avaptischa bhavataha. Both these things take place. Iti saptavasthaha siddhyanti. Thus, we are able to tell you all this encapsulated in 7 states or 7 steps. Okay? All that what we have discussed so far can be given to you in a formula of 7 states. What are those? Saptavastha nama. Those who have this, read their shloka. It is from Panchadashi. Ajnanam avritistadvad. Ajnanam Vikshepascha parokshadhi. Aparokshamati Hatistruptir nirankusham. Actually, this shokahati is one word. It should not be broken the way we sang, but we just sang it for the singing purpose. Here one word. So he says, Ajnanam avritihi. The first state is just ignorance. From ignorance comes avritihi. Avriti means avaranam. Okay? From ignorance comes avaranam. Now, after this ignorance, after the avaranam is vikshepa. Vikshepa. Projection. Vikshepa. Now this fellow, after doing, then he goes to the teacher, sits over there and says, "Sir, please have some compassion and give me that knowledge. I am over here getting scorched day and night by this world. This world doesn't seem to give me any peace. Can you please shower your grace, your words, your glance of compassion?" And the teacher then speaks. As a result, parokshadhi. What does he have? The indirect knowledge. So previously he did not have what? First he has direct and then indirect. Parokshadhi. Then further aparokshamatihi. Now is the direct knowledge. Then shokahati, destruction of all misery, gone. Destruction of all misery, shokahati. And then truptir nirankusha. This is a very nice word. In the olden days, when people used to keep elephants, now look at that animal. It is such a massive and powerful animal. To control it is difficult. How are you going to control an elephant? Now they had a mahout sitting on top of the elephant. And do you know how they would control? Yeah, because elephants are there only in India and Asia. India and Africa. Asia and Africa. You don't get them in Canada, so you wouldn't know. So what they had was a small little, just this small, a rod. A small steel rod, whatever, brass, steel, copper, whatever. There used to be one metal rod. And it had a little point in the a sharp something. And all that the mahout had to do was just to put it there on the head. That was all enough to just control such a massive mountain of strength. If the elephant wanted, he could have destroyed not only mahout but his whole village. Such a powerful animal. But now this frail little thing, who does not have even proper strength even to inhale that bidi, he can control that elephant. The mahout who is sitting, his lungs are so weak now he cannot even smoke a full puff. But he controls that elephant with a little ankusha. Ankusha is goad, G-O-A-D, goad. English word goad. Ankush. It is controlled. Now, when we see our satisfaction, our fulfillment, joy, always has something of the other to prick it. Everything is okay, Swamiji. Everything is okay, except my neighbor's dog. No, he does not have anything else but neighbor's dog to complain about. Hey, you see, something of the other is always going to be present to bother, to spoil the fun. Now we say, after this direct knowledge, where Shokahati takes place, resolved, all misery gone, suffering finished, how is the fulfillment, how is the satisfaction, how is the joy of this person? Nirankusha, that there is no ankusha, nothing to control it, nothing to spoil the fun, no party poopers. Go. Shokahatihi trupti nirankusha. So this is the word nirankusha trupti. Let us read this one shloka, so that will give you a complete picture of this chapter. Ajnanam avrtistadvan vikshepascha parokshadhihi aparokshamatihi shokahatihi truptir nirankusha. 7. Okay. Can you count 7 in this? Ajnanam avrtistadvan vikshepascha parokshadhihi aparokshamati shokahati. 7. Okay? So these are the 7 steps of Jivan Mukti, of liberation. Liberation. Evam akashavan nirmale chaitanya vastuni mithyabhuta prapancha kalpanam adhyaropaha. Thus, akashavan nirmale, the Atma Vastu, this consciousness that the self is, how is it? Is like the space. The space never gets contaminated. Air may get contaminated. Does the space get contaminated? The space does not get contaminated. And therefore, everything comes and goes in this space, but space remains immovable. Like the space, Akashavan Nirmale, the consciousness, the self that is like the space. And what is there in this consciousness? Seeing this prapancha, the world of names and forms, various names and forms. How is it? It is an appearance. The appearance of all these names and forms in the self, which is like the space, immaculate, like this space. Immaculate like this space, nirmalam, akashavad nirmale atmavastuni. This prapancha, to see the world of names and forms, is what is called as adhyaropa. This is what? Adhyaropa, what is the English word? Superimposition. This is what is superimposition. Okay? Now, atha apavada uchyate. Now we are going to tell you what is apavada. What is apavada? Apavada means desuperimposition, annulation. This will be now told to you. It is just 2 lines, 3 lines, but I think I'll leave it for tomorrow. This is adhyaropaha. So, how? Through adhyaropa apavada, Brahma is revealed. This is what we have seen, of which the portion of adhyaropa has been explained. Now, what remains to be seen is apavada. What is apavada then? That what is not superimposition is desuperimposition, but it is not just that much. The process to remove the superimposition is desuperimposition. Okay, it's very simple. Let us see that tomorrow. One day, Swami Dayananji said one thing. He said, people say, Swamiji, Vedanta is so simple, Vedanta. He said, Vedanta is not simple. It is profound. Because what can be more profound than to just know that this self is Brahman? What could be? That God is Brahman. Okay, God is Brahman. Now what? Big deal. What could be more profound? गंभीर और क्या हो सकता है? But he says that subject matter is made clear by the teachers, that it is so clear that it appears simple. So he said, it is profound but clear. Profound but clear. Okay? Alright. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnahat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Suprabhashyakೃತೌ Vande Bhagavantau Punaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murtipeda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye